I'm Eric. I've been in the container ecosystem since before Portworx, so last 3 years, and always in cloud, always in enterprise. And at Portworx, I joined about 7 months ago, and we've been building enterprise storage for customers who want a much better experience. Everyone sees that DevOps and developers have benefited, and it's been a much more, we've already solved the problem of it works on my computer, why doesn't it deploy in production? I think over time though, people are realizing that the arc of containers, the benefits are long, and we're only at the start. So I think if I look at last year, it was much more, how do I evaluate, how do I get better build, dev, test time? Now it's become, how much more do I get a deterministic environment? And they're moving towards how do I get an intent-based infrastructure where things like storage, compute, it's much more of an experience that they would want from a public cloud, but they can have that on-prem. And that's where I think people are going. Gu, our CTO co-founder, he gave a talk on storage, as you said. And for him, it was much more about, the benefits of containers and storage. Storage can extend the benefits. And so your choice in storage matters a lot. And so we are seeing customers talking to us and deploying, and from their perspective, they want something that is purpose-built. And so things like build times, deployment, scale density, it happens so fast. Containers are coming so fast into the environments that we can provide a much more seamless experience, and I think everyone wants that. So if it's not just Portworx, we talked about how Cluster HQ is helping. We see customers getting a much better experience, and for us, it's been how do you get the dev test, how do you get into production, and how do you have an enterprise experience? And so for us, it's been a great road, and Gu talked about all the major milestones we've hit. We just launched PX Lite. We launched it actually yesterday at Container World, and so we're giving a demo of that as well. So I just mentioned PX Lite, and for us, that's been, we were at DockerCon last year, at DockerCon EU, and customers kept saying, how do I get this elastic storage capacity? How do I get this experience? How do I provision capacity very quickly? And so we finally realized that we had to deploy and develop something for dev test, DevOps, and enterprises. So we announced PX Lite yesterday. It comes as a container. It provides elastic storage, highly available. It runs on customer servers and in public clouds. And that's our first release, which was yesterday. And then we are also, at the same time, deploying our enterprise edition with customers as we speak. We actually talked to a few today who've been working with us as we go along. And the enterprise just adds a lot higher scale, better density, more management features. And so we have both the enterprise and the Lite edition going on at the same time. Container World, I think for us, it's been that talking to customers is always the best part. And they've moved from dev test into grappling with the next set of hard questions. And I see that has been both, how do I handle multi-cloud? So one customer was deploying 1,000 containers. And for them, they have to control both how containers run in AWS and on-prem. And so they built out interesting VPC patterns, or virtual private cloud patterns. And I think that's going to be an interesting model, especially initiated by customers. So I think that's great. And they happen to have a storage need, but even without storage, it's a good problem, or it's a good pattern to go solve. The next set of customers that I've enjoyed talking to have been, they're deploying, and it's much like how people used to deploy Office or Microsoft Office into customers' data centers or environments. But this time around, they don't get to control the stack. So customers are building their ISV-style applications. They're rich, they're distributed, and they happen to have to deploy in data centers where they don't get to choose the operating system, the hardware. So they're asking for a software solution, and for us, that obviously is something that we want to help support. So I think that will be the next wave, is how do I not only give a deterministic experience or deterministic deployment, but also how do I have total control over my customer's experience through infrastructure as code. So it's been a great event, and we're looking forward to seeing that more and more, especially as we participate in Container World.